Hi, I'm Astrologer Penny Dix and welcome to this month's in-depth look at the new moon in the communicative sign of Gemini. It's on the 27th of May, 2025. In some parts of the world, it's on the 26th, late on the 26th. So remember to check out what time it is in the location that you are on the planet. Now, after I do the brief overview, I am this time going to go through each of your individual zodiac signs and let you know the area of your life that you will feel this new moon energy impacting. And remember to listen to not just your sun sign, but also your rising sign, also known as the ascendant. So let's see. At this point, I think before we actually go any further, I'm going to get the wonderful Jerry to make the chart appear. And there we go. And there it is. And just for you to know very quickly before I start, my my shoulder is improving nicely. The stitches should be out in a few days' time. And I'm just resting it on the armrest so that I don't have to actually wear the sling because it pulls on my neck. So doctor said it was okay to do it this way. But thank you for all your lovely well wishes. And it really does mean a lot. And also for those of you that I have not yet responded to your messages and comments, I'm getting through them. And one of you beautiful people pointed out to me that I don't have to type, that actually I can use the mic part of the script and dictate it. And so you're probably all going to get incredibly long replies to your comments. So keep a lookout for those. So there we go. Well, we are talking about Gemini season and we are talking about a new moon in Gemini. Air, overthinking, maybe over-talking, oversharing. Do any of you do any of that? Remember, we've still got Jupiter in Gemini for a few more weeks. And that, of course, is emphasizing and enlarging all of the communicative ideas side of the sign of Gemini, along with any overthinking or oversharing. So just be mindful of that. So for once, you won't have my arms waving around in front of you, although this one might pop up every now and then, as my arm has to stay still. So blessing, eh? So let's look at this new moon because it's at 6 degrees and 5 minutes. And on the chart we have here, I've set it up for British summertime, London. And so we have an ascendant of Taurus and a descendant of Scorpio. We have Aquarius on the midheaven and Leo on the, actually, no, sorry, I'm wrong. We've got Capricorn on the midheaven and Cancer on the IC. So we've got fixed and cardinal energy. So actually mixing that in with the air energy that the new moon brings in is quite a nice balance of energies for the launching of new projects around this energy of the new moon. So let's just have a look at what the planets are doing, because Mercury, that of course rules Gemini, is in fact conjunct the new moon. So Mercury is at 2 degrees, and even though the new moon is at 6 degrees, it's still seen as a conjunction. So this is a new moon that brings up a lot of chatter, a lot of communication, a lot of news. I think we're all going to find that our electronic devices are absolutely buzzing with information that comes to us. Now, this might not just be on a personal level. This could also be on an international level. So we may find that the news channels and news media are really, really full of interesting tidbits of news. We've just had Mercury conjunct Uranus that can bring up shocking news, surprising news, rebellious talk, fighting talk. So we've got still some pretty strident energies around. And not to forget, of course, just to set the scene for this new moon, we've also got Saturn newly arrived in the sign of Aries, just at 8 minutes, 0 degrees and 8 minutes. But of course, it is now conjunct Neptune, even though it's not exact. It won't be exact until next February. And so at the moment, we are getting a flavour of these two great big, amazingly powerful energies. Neptune, which kind of blurs and puts a veil of mysterious numinosity around subjects. Saturn, bringing in a practical side, a practical approach to, how can we say, to keep tabs on things, to make sure that things don't go too fast. Saturn in Aries is going to make us aware very much that everything in life, and especially over the next 2 to 3 years, is about timing. So bear that in mind when you're making plans to do something else, or you want to make plans come to fruition quickly. With Saturn and Neptune here, they take a bit of time, but you have to be active. It's Aries. You must take action. And what better time to initiate new ideas and new plans than around this new moon in Gemini. So Pluto, our planet of transformative energy, of transitioning, of empowerment, retrograde now in Aquarius. Aquarius that is about innovative thinking, rebellious thinking, awakening. It's about the new age. It's about thinking outside the box and really having an ability to tune into higher frequencies of our super consciousness. Pluto is trining Mercury and the new moon. This is a very helpful aspect. And I think, excuse me, on a personal level, we will actually experience this energy as very productive. Pluto is giving almost like rocket-fueled power to the ideas and the plans that you are trying to initiate. So I really can't emphasize enough how good a time this is to actually initiate new plans and ideas. So we have to remember that also air expands. It with Jupiter in an air sign, Gemini, it expands everything. And Pluto being in an air sign also revels, if you like, in the expansion that Pluto can give to its transforming and empowering powers. So there is a sense with this energy around this new moon of an opportunity to break through barriers that have up until now just not been shifting, just not been moving. They are now going to start breaking through, breaking down. You will start to make headway. However, I do think it is really important to remember that you make conscious choices of actions you wish to take, bearing in mind Saturn and Neptune in Aries, to initiate the changes you wish to manifest in your life. Now, I also want to draw your attention to Sedna. Sedna, remember, at 1 degree of Gemini. Sedna is also widely conjunct this new moon and conjunct Mercury. Sedna, remember, was the sea goddess. She was rescued by her father from what he felt was an unwelcome suitor. And the boat they were on that was taking them home sprang a leak, or there was a storm, and they knew they had to get rid of somebody out of the boat, otherwise they would all perish. Well, Sedna's father went, whoop, out you go. And poor Sedna is thrown out of the boat, clings on to the side of the boat with both hands. I can't show you with both hands. With both hands. Father gets out his knife, cuts her fingers off, cuts her hands off, cuts her wrists off, until she can't do anything but let go. So there is something about this new moon energy that is about letting go. So even though I'm saying we have to take action to manifest that which we have to, or that which we desire, simultaneously we must allow it to let go into the Neptune energy in Aries currently, that takes it down to the depths, where Saturn can put form and structure into the ideas that we have. Now, Sedna in Gemini, in this configuration with Mercury and the new moon, because remember, when Sedna lets go, she becomes a sea goddess. She transforms. Hence, we've got the Pluto also trining Sedna. And so we have this feminine empowerment and transformation. We also have the fact that Sedna was cut down and severed by the masculine. And sometimes, if we take this on a psychological internal level, our own inner masculine can cut us down. It can become so weighted, or we become so weighted in our masculine energy that we shut down or shut up that divine feminine spark, the intuition. Sedna also is about abuse and victimization. So where are you not always kind to you? Do you put yourself down? Do you criticize yourself? Are you your own worst enemy? Oh, I tell you what, I've been doing some of that lately. It's really interesting, and this is actually part of also something I want to say, which is Chiron currently conjunct Aries. You'll see that in Aries, just above the ascendant. And Chiron conjunct Aries. Aries is another of these women who has been cut down. She's been left out. She's been abandoned. And she fights back. Chiron shows that wound. Now, this can manifest itself for all of us, whether we are, whatever sex we are. It can manifest as feeling invisible, unseen, unheard, not understood. Now, we've got this energy around for quite some time. Now, if you have it touching a personal planet in your own chart, then you will feel it more. However, if it is just floating there without making any particular aspect, it won't particularly affect you. And so you need to actually look at your own chart to know whether you're going to be affected by that Chiron Aries, Aries energy. But back to the new moon, because this is an important new moon for new beginnings. Let's just move on and just have a look at how it can rejuvenate us. I think we're going to get fresh perspectives on how to manifest our desires, quite frankly. I think if we allow ourselves to be curious, to adapt, to allow the feminine to come through our intuitive side, our gut feeling, which has been cut off by the masculine and sunk to the depths of the ocean, then it is much better for us. So the harmonious trine with Pluto from this new moon, I think, is going to bring about some in-depth and very transformative conversations that we can have with others or significant others. Even the conversations we have on an inner level with ourselves, where we tell ourselves to not be so unkind to ourselves and start saying, you know what, you've done pretty well. 10 days beyond surgery, I'm back in the chair and I'm doing some more videos. And I may not be seeing any of you lovely people yet for sessions, but at least I'm able to make my videos. And I cannot tell you the effort it has taken to get ready for today, because anyone who's had surgery knows it's like the stuffing is knocked out of you. So my stamina levels are about 0. It's like I'm running on empty. So this new moon could also be very good for any of us that are feeling that we've been running on empty, because it's a chance to actually bring in some rich, informative discussion and conversation that can allow us to have that personal growth, the inner growth that we really need. I think it's also, this new moon is something about recognizing the underlying truths that we have in everything in our lives and in how we deal with ourselves and others. You see, if you look at the chart, and let's take this as transpersonal, it's for all of us. It's taken from a point in time, it's first house. The first house is about me, I. So why not take this new moon as me, I? I am going to change the way I feel and think about myself. I am going to give or make sure that my inner talk to myself, my inner conversations, are positive and helpful and empowering, and not that chatterbox saying, who's going to want you? You're just rubbish. You're old now. You're no good. Look at you. You can't even walk properly. Some of the things that my internal chatter does for me. I'm not looking for sympathy. Do not pick that up as a look for sympathy. I can give myself sympathy and I can tell myself to stop it and just pull myself up, if you like. Not pull myself together, that's a bit harsh. To have the empathy and sympathy for myself, but to actually recognize that I've actually done really well over the last few months, coping with pain, with surgery, 2 surgeries, and that what I have to do now is use this new moon energy to initiate the changes that I wish to bring into my life, to bring new people into my life. And this might be a good point to actually move on to the individual signs, because I think this will help you to get a sense of the area of your life that really is going to be activated by this new moon in Gemini. So I am going to ask the lovely Jerry to timestamp the individual zodiac signs. So I will pause between each one so he knows clearly when I'm finishing a sign and starting a new sign. Mental note to self, it's 19 minutes and 42 seconds. So remember, this is for your rising sign and also your, obviously, sun sign. So first of all, Aries. Well, Aries, this is quite interesting because it's actually in your third house. Your third house of communication. And this would be a really good time, Aries, to write down how you do feel, to do a little bit of creative self-personal therapy on yourself, to gain a bit of clarity on those narratives that we feed ourselves with, because we do tend to see this as a difficult area that we get caught into. So I think it's really important to try and look at how you feel about you and to use this powerful energy to transform. So use this energy as a way to be kind to yourself, to come out of yourself, to gain that clarity about yourself. And that way, I think you will really gain ground in this endeavor. So let's move on to Taurus. So this is for Sun in Taurus or for rising sign in Taurus. So for you, Taurus, this is in your second house. And of course, the second house is about your self-worth. This is how you, again, little bit like it was for Aries, how you talk to you. It's about finding ways to affirm your positive intentions, to challenge your self-perception, to really look at how you can make some headway in understanding your own particular journey. Basically, to start valuing yourself again, Taurus. You are worth a lot. Don't underestimate how much you are worth. Remember, with that Pluto trining this new moon, it's giving you a gift of personal transformation in how you value yourself. And Mercury conjunct this new moon in this part of your chart, the second house, is really saying, communicate. Tell people how you feel. Tell your significant other how you feel. And all shall be well. So let's move on to Gemini. So this is for the Sun in Gemini or for the rising sign in Gemini. Gemini. Well, of course, Gemini, this is very much about you as well. I mean, for all of us, it is very much a personal new moon, but there is something about, for you, Gemini, I think you will be looking at the direction your life takes from now on in. I think you will be very eager to grab hold of the opportunities for new beginnings. And I think that will be that it needs to align with the identity that you are growing into. I think Pluto is really empowering you to evolve so that you are keen to take big strides forward in understanding yourself and how you come across, not just to others, but to yourself. So there's a theme running through these first three signs of personal empowerment. And I think it's very much a new moon for all of us that can be a transformative new moon on an inner level. If we look at Cancer, for Sun in Cancer and rising sign in Cancer, then what we find is that this really is a new moon to go within. This is a new moon to look at, well, how you can heal the inner traumas that you carry. You can transform past healing experiences into really positive ways forward. This would be a really good time, Cancer, to really reflect, meditate, pray in the way that is right for you, to your God, to your divine energy, to gain clarity, to perhaps find somewhere that is a special place for you, where you can go and rest and go within. So it's about inner transformation, Cancer. So now let's move on to Leo. And for you, Leo, this is in your, and this is for Sun in Leo and rising sign in Leo. This is in your 11th house. And this, of course, is the house of larger groups of people, the community at large. There's a need here to deepen emotional connection and honesty and authenticity in all your relationships. There's ground to be gained by having meaningful, open talks here with others. It can really help to forge good friendships and good relationships. There's also a huge opportunity here, Leo, to embark on, to start really creating projects that involve the written word, that involve creativity, the creative skills that you have so well, the creative skills that empower you to write in a way that the receiver feels they are the only one in the audience that you are addressing. Let's move on to Virgo. So for you, Virgo, this is in your 10th house, and this is for Sun in Virgo and rising sign in Virgo. So Virgo, this is about your professional identity. I think that you've got to try and get out of the perfectionism of trying to make sure everything you do within your professional capacity is perfect before you launch it. Launch it. It's a new moon. Why wait? Just launch it. This is a wonderful launch pad to set those dreams in motion and make them a reality. There are some wonderful opportunities here to really make the connections that you need with others to help take your projects and plans forward. This is a beautiful new moon for you. And you see, Virgo, the problem is, as I said, sometimes you get so bogged down in the detail, you forget to come up for air and think, oh, well, actually, this piece of work is pretty good. It's ready. Let it go. Let it go out there. You might be surprised how this new moon whisks it away and transforms it into something that could potentially be incredibly lucrative for you. let's move on to Libra. So Libra, this is for Sun in Libra or for the rising sign in Libra. Libra, this is in your 9th house of higher education, legal affairs, long distance travel, spirituality, connecting with the higher self. So it's a new moon, it's Gemini. We know it's about communication. I think your knowledge is going to be stimulated. Your thirst for knowledge and travel and understanding new things, new cultures, is really going to be enhanced by this new moon in Gemini. It feels important that you mix with like-minded people, where the projects and the ideas that you have about far distant places and cultures, that you resonate with people that are also on the same wavelength as you, the same frequency, so that you can realign your values with others that have similar values to you. And you know what? With this new moon in Gemini, what a great time to plan a trip. Why not go for it? Let's look at Scorpio. So for you, Scorpio, for Sun in Scorpio and for rising sign in Scorpio, this is your 8th house. Now, the 8th house is about transformation. It's about sexuality, death, rebirth. It's actually your house. It's the house that you rule. So you have your feet or your little feelers already in this Gemini new moon energy. And the feeling I get with this, because Scorpio, you can be quite secretive and cunning and clever and private. There's something here about the need for honest communication with the people that really count. If there's something you want to say to someone that means a lot to you, then say it. It will clear the air. It will move things on. And you will think, oh, why did I get so about that? There's something here very much about the opportunity for you to transform the way you talk in personal relationships, in those intimate relationships. I think if there are ideas you have about taking a relationship to a new level, it's going to happen, Scorpio. So let's now move on to Sagittarius, for the Sun in Sagittarius or the rising sign in Sagittarius. So for you, Sagittarius, it's your 7th house. Because of course, the 7th house is all about relationships. And this is Gemini. And it's opposite it's opposite you. Quite frankly, it is your other half. And there is something about this Gemini energy which is about the duality. And I think very much, Sagittarius, you need to feel that you are part of a twosome currently. And if you're not, I think the opportunities will arise around this new moon in Gemini energy. I think it's about understanding and allowing the transformation of complex relationships to evolve so that you can enjoy the benefits of a free and honest relationship, but with maybe minimal commitment at this point, because it feels as if your mind is very active and you need the stimulation, you need the excitement. And if the other half in your life is not providing that excitement, then you're going to get bored very quickly. So it is important that you're with someone who does stimulate that need for excitement. Well, there we go, Sagittarius. So let's look at Capricorn. So Capricorn, this is for Sun in Capricorn or for rising sign in Capricorn. Well, Capricorn, this of course is your 6th house of your daily routine. This can also be your health. If you've had health issues of late, this could see a new health regime or new beginnings as you move towards wellness. There's a sense of you adapting well to new treatment regimes, and that if you can allow flexibility to be there, it can really help you to heal in whatever way you need healing, in a really productive and transformative way. And the progress, this means that the progress you can make in your daily routine and your daily working routine will really pay off and be incredibly empowering for you as you're able to make huge strides forward as you balance your life with work and any health issues that may have been holding you back. So this is the beginning of you seeing the end of difficult health challenges. And if that isn't something that has been around, then there's also an element here of how you serve others, also how you serve you. But it is Gemini, so there is something here about the need for another. So I do think there is a need to embrace the sense of the sense of commitment that comes from being with one particular other. I think that's important for you. So let's move on to Aquarius. Well, this is for Sun in Aquarius or for rising sign in Aquarius. Aquarius is your 5th house, creativity, children, love affairs. I think this is a really good new moon to indulge in some creative pursuits. Get those creative juices flowing. You've got Pluto in your sign, begging you to be creative and transform, to grow, to be able to tune into those higher frequencies of intuition and the collective unconscious. Artistic endeavors at this time will be very fulfilling. So if there are projects that you want to launch that have a creative slant to them, and maybe a slightly quirky or innovative edge to them, then this would be an excellent time to initiate them. I think it's going to be like a breath of fresh air for you. I think you are going to feel this is a good time to give yourself some attention and feed your soul with the creativity that it craves. Finally, we move on to Pisces. So this is for Sun in Pisces or for rising sign in Pisces. Pisces, this is your 4th house of home and family, of the country that you live in. New beginnings. Are you making new beginnings within your home? Are you considering moving home, Pisces? Are you thinking of moving country? I think also there's a sense with this energy of wanting to create an atmosphere at home that somehow conveys your feelings, conveys the artistic side of your nature. You want to communicate your soul to people when they enter your home. So it may be that you choose this energy to make some choice and strategic changes around where you live, to introduce different colours, to introduce different pictures, to introduce a change to the feng shui of the objects in your house, to shift the energy. I also think there is a lot to be gained from meaningful discussions at this time with family. And that goes for family that aren't blood family, because sometimes our family are actually the people that we spend most of our time with, and they're not always our blood relatives. But that will be very good for you. So Pisces, on that note, and everybody, thank you so much for joining me for this in-depth look at the new moon in Gemini. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you to the new subscribers. And as I said, I will get round to answering all your lovely comments and well wishes. I'm doing okay. I will get there. I'm just going to take things a bit slow for a while. And remember, if you do want to book a one-to-one session with me, go to my website for the prices and information about consultations. Email me at penny@pennydix.com. The website is just pennydix.com. And I will come back to you. Let me know your time zone when you email me, and we will find a suitable time to meet. Okay, on that note, thank you so much for joining me, and I really look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye for now.